Any Sonic fan knows that Sonic can't swim and generally dislikes water. I mean, that's a point of relatability for Sonic fans, seeing how they avoid showers. But Sonic's disapproval of water also comes off by how they implement it in Sonic games, because it's often very disappointing, and that's what we will discuss today. Sonic 1's implementation of water is infamous. It's boring, annoying, and difficult. If you learn the game's mechanics and get good at them, it's not that hard, but it's still far from good and unanimously disliked. You're slow, you're heavy, and it's just not fun. And sadly, that was a trend for all of classic Sonic until one single level in Sonic 3 that actually has decent water level design in the form of Hydro City. And yes, I will get to the pronunciation later. The level is fast, engaging, and doesn't have too much water. It's still on average less fun than good dryland levels in my opinion, but it is not bad for what it is. Sonic Adventure on the other hand has a huge water theme. But sadly, the Dreamcast was too weak to properly portray water in a way that satisfied the devs, making it so that Chaos's design and boss fight is just wrong. Later in Sonic Generations, they would properly portray Perfect Chaos's design and boss fight, seeing as how the Xbox 360 and PS3 had way better graphical capabilities. Now, the next entry is weird. I'm talking about Sonic Free Riders, the demo. So yeah, I've never actually played the full game. But back when I was a little youngin', I got myself the demo for this game on my Xbox 360, and I remember the level included in the demo was like a mall-like setting with a huge water theme, even having a section underwater. I remember it was very nice aesthetically and exhilarating to look at. So where are the disappointing parts, you might be asking? The controls. Yeah, so the game just controls really fucking bad. It's genuinely difficult to play the game as intended, mostly being the fault of the Kinect's bad input. The issue isn't the game's design as much as the Kinect just not functioning well. I guess they could have simplified the controls to work around the Kinect, but I remember the inputs just taking ages to register, if at all. In fact, some talented fans ended up making a version of the game you can play via emulators, with a legally acquired copy of course, that uses controller input instead of the Kinect. So, despite being a disappointing water level implementation as I just said it was, reaching so hard that it felt my arms were turning into mozzarella cheese, there does seem to be a good ending. Not! Sonic Free Riders does have a good ending, but Sonic Frontiers doesn't. See, you can't run on water. That doesn't seem too bad, but in an open world where most of the fun comes from the sheer athleticism you have, it's frankly quite disappointing to see you can't do something Sonic could do in Unleashed, Colors, and Generations. Plus, when you go in the water and you drown, you don't even get the drowning music. It only plays when you drown in this specific enemy's whatever, which is already easy enough to beat, so this is basically more of an Easter egg than an intended feature. You know what else is disappointing? Why do people say hydrocity? It's not hydrocity, for God's sake, it's a city made of water. Hydro plus city, Hydro City.
You might say, oh, well, it's a pun. See, hydro plus velocity, hydrocity. It makes more sense because, see, there's no space here.
No! Do you think the minds behind City would have made such a clever English pun? I know they made miles per hour as a pun, but wait, I have even more proof. How would you type ice cap? Ice cap, right? With the space? Well, guess how they wrote it. Ice cap. That's not ice cap just because they left the space out. Just like this is an obvious typo, it's safe to assume Hydro City also is. More proof. This is what a level with a space would look like. And this is what Icy Cap and Hydrocity look like. Localization was already shitty enough back then, so most games just already came in a neutral language like English, and seeing as how they were mainly developed in Japan, it was easy for shit like this to slip by testers. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Also, I initially wrote a decently long script which was supposed to be for this video, but in the meanwhile I started having issues with my computer, so I had to hand it in to this repair shop because I sadly couldn't test what was causing this on my screen. Sadly, I left the script on that computer, so I'm doing a slightly different, shorter video to make up for it, so I apologize. I'll probably end up finishing it once I manage to get that PC back up and running. Right now I'm on this laptop I have, which should do in the meanwhile. And as always, toodaloo. I said that once in a video, but I just find it so hilarious, I'm gonna keep repeating it every time. Fuck you.